side bend is a full body stability exercise. That means it works all the muscles in your system that keep you standing up and prevent you from falling over. So, I'm going to bend my body toward the sink first. It doesn't matter which way you bend. But if I'm bending that way, I'm going to take the leg that's farthest away and cross it over the other leg. And then since I'm bending that way, I'm going to put my hand on my waist and I'm going to push in the opposite direction. As I bring my arm on the outside over top of my head and down as far as I can go and bend sideways toward the sink as I push my waist away from the sink. And I'm trying to expose my intercostal muscles in between my ribs on the side that's facing up. I don't know how far you can bend, but maybe I can go a little further. If you find this just too difficult, you can untangle your legs. You could also, if you wanted to, let go of that waist and put it on a counter or a chair or a wall. But you want to bend as far over as you can. Your arm, of course, is bent and it's reaching over your head and you're exposing those muscles in between your ribs to the ceiling. And you breathe comfortably and you hold it for about 30 seconds. And then you untangle yourself, arms down and relax. Wow. So I'm going to try the other side, going to bend toward the stove. So I'm going to put the leg that's farthest away over this other one. I'm going to take the hand that's on the stove side and push my waist away from the stove. And I'm going to reach over my head and bend into the stove, exposing my ribs on the bent side of my body, working the intercostal muscles. But I'm working all kinds of muscles in my lower body and my upper body, from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. And I'm trying to hold it for 30 seconds. If 30 seconds is too long for you, you can hold it for 5 seconds or whatever is best. Try not to fall over, hold on to something if you need to, but keep the bend happening. And that's about 30 seconds, wouldn't you say? Okay, untangle yourself, relax. The deep resting squat. I need a strong low back. I need really strong erector spinae muscles that run up and down my spine on the outside of my body to keep my low back strong. I need a strong bum or glute set of muscles to keep my low back strong. I need strong hip flexors, strong quads, strong hamstrings to keep my low back strong. There's no way in the world I want a back problem. This exercise will help all of that. So to do it, since I have to rest down low in a squat position, I'm going to hold on to the sink because I'm a senior. I'm not able to do this without holding on to something. And the sink is a perfect place to do it. So my feet are shoulder width apart or maybe a little wider. They're going to point out a little tiny bit, the toes are. And I'm going to hold on and lower myself down slowly. I don't want any pain anywhere. It might be uncomfortable, but if I have any pain like there, I'll back up a little bit and hold it there. But as I go down, I push my hips back and I bend my legs at the knees and I lower myself down, holding on to the sink here as low as I can go. And that's about it. But I want to try to get, my goal is to try to get my hips lower than my knees. So I am about even there, maybe a little lower. And you know, I'll work at this until I can get really lower than the knees with my bum. And I hold it here only for about 30 seconds. If I can't hold it that long, I'll come back up. But I can do this. I'm going to be mindful. I'm going to be focused on my body parts. My feet are flat. My knees are right over the outside of my feet, my toes there. I don't want my knees caving in. I'm looking straight ahead. My head's in neutral. And I'm going to say that's 30 seconds. And I'm going to slowly come back up and straighten my legs and stand up nice and tall and go, I did it. The standing cow-cat or cat-cow. So I'm going to stand with my feet shoulder width apart. I'll turn sideways a little bit so you can see the shape of my body better. So I'm in a relaxed position here. I open up my hands like so, creating that little V between my thumb and my pointer finger, and I put them on my quads here. And then as I slide them down toward my knees, I push my hips back. And when I get to my knees, I hold my hands there. Notice my back is pretty straight from the top of my head to my tailbone. My feet are shoulder width apart. It's kind of a squat, but not too much of a squat. And now I'm going to bring my shoulders forward and bring my chin to my chest and create the cat. So I should have a round back, an arching back. My belly is being pulled in. I'm trying to breathe comfortably here. I don't want to hold my breath. I hold it for about 15 seconds. That's about 15 seconds. Then I push my shoulders back as far as I can push them and bring my head up and look up, creating that saddle right in my low back area. The cow. And I hold that, breathing comfortably for another 15 seconds. And I want to do 30 seconds of each. So now 15 seconds is up for the cow. Bring my chin down to my chest and bring my shoulders forward and create that cat. Suck my belly in. And then after a 15-second hold, I bring my head up. All right, and create that saddle in my low back. Hold that for 15 seconds. So it's really my shoulders coming back and forward, and my head goes up and down toward my chin to my chest. Otherwise, I stay in the squat position. When I'm all done, I slide my hands back up toward my hips, straighten my legs, and stand up tall. And I did a 30-second standing cow-cat. Most of us do a lot of sitting around and leaning forward, looking down, whether it's a computer screen, a phone, a TV, holding onto a car steering wheel. We're in that position. Or we're just in a comfortable chair slouching. And so our shoulders start to come forward, our head comes forward, it throws our balance and our stability system all out of whack, wrecks our back, we have hip problems, knee problems. It's just not a good idea. So this is called the doorway stretch. And it'll solve all those problems for you if you do this stretch at least once a day. So I'm going to use the doorway behind me here, but I want to show you something. I'm going to take just standing normally, I'm going to take my arm, I'm going to use the door frame on this side first. I'm going to take my arm, and I'm going to make sure that my elbow is about on the same plane as my shoulder. And then I'm going to take my palm and put it on the other side of the door frame. So I'm going to stand in between. So I put my hand on the frame. You can't see it because it's on the other side of the wall. But my elbow and my shoulder are lined up, so I'll slide my hand up a little bit. Good, good. I'm just standing in the doorway, forming this 90-degree angle here with my shoulder and my elbow and my hand. And then I'm going to take the leg that's on the same side as that arm, and I'm going to step through. And when I do that, what will happen is that my shoulder, which is in line with my elbow, will come forward. So it's ahead of my elbow. Okay? My front leg is bent a little bit. My foot's flat. My back leg is really straight, and my foot is flat. Got it? That's important. the other thing, let me try that again. The other thing is I want my head to come with my shoulder forward. Don't try to leave your head back there because that'll create a pain or some kind of a extra stress in your low back. So I got my elbow at the same height as my shoulder. My hand is touching the frame on the other side of the wall there. I take a step through, bringing my head and my shoulder ahead of my elbow. Notice it's kind of like a lunge position, except the back leg, the heel is down flat. I'm not up on my toes. Both feet are flat. Got it? Right. So if you had some kind of a line from your back heel to the top of your head, it'd be on an angle kind of like that. Right. Anyway, I can feel it pulling all the muscles here and in my shoulder in various spots to pull me back to where I was when I was younger. And then you can do it on the other side. Okay, got it? 90 degrees. Elbow is as high as your shoulder. Put it on the frame. So the shoulder and the elbow are in a line. But when I step through with that leg on that side, feet flat, shoulders ahead of the elbow, and so is my head ahead of the elbow. Got it? Both feet are flat, front leg is bent, back leg is straight, heels are down, and I'm feeling the pull right here. I've got some really, really, really important muscles in my chest and in my back and in my shoulder that I want to get stronger. How long would I hold this? Probably 30 seconds on each side. I'll do it one more time, but turn around so you can see me from behind. Line up the elbow and the shoulder. Take the leg closest to that arm and step through the frame, pulling my shoulder ahead of my elbow. Notice both feet are flat on the ground. Other side. Elbow, shoulder, hand on the frame. Step through with that leg on that side, bringing my shoulder ahead of my elbow and bring my head through too. Both feet are glued to the floor. And you hold it there, each side, for about 30 seconds. I call this exercise the Ductor Dance. Ductor, D-U-C-T-O-R, the Ductor Dance. You have abductors and adductors, thigh muscles, outside thigh, inside thigh. The job of those muscles is to keep your knees and your hips stable as you move from side to side or even forward and back. You don't want a knee problem or a hip problem, so you want to do the Ductor Dance. So to start with, we're going to sit on the edge of the chair, freeing up most of our lower body, holding onto the chair too. We'll put our feet together and we'll push our knees out, keep the feet together, and back, out and in, out and in, out and in. Yes, you could call this the clamshell, but I like to call it the Ductor Dance. And you can make it go fast, keep your feet together, push your knees away, or you can make it go super slow and really hold it in the extension and bring it together and then push it away and hold it, or just do the Ductor Dance like this. Good. Working those inner thigh and outer thigh muscles. How long? Maybe 30 seconds. Even if you slow it down and hold it, about 30 seconds, okay? Then you're going to do it with your legs wide apart, feet flat on the floor, and you're going to bring your one knee in, your knee comes in, your foot kind of turns a little bit. And then try the other one, knee in, so it's this kind of a dance. Trying to keep your hips and your knees safe, stable, balanced. There's lots of other muscles assisting those ductors, the adductors and the abductors, but you don't need to know anything other than how do you do the ductor dance. If you want to slow this down, just do one knee at a time, or the other knee, or opposite, or together. About 30 seconds will do the trick.